With the highly anticipated release of Wuthering Waves version 2.0, the update that's shaking up the gacha gaming world, we are diving into a topic that's on everyone's mind: Charlotte vs Jinhsi. This update doesn't just bring us new features, it introduces Charlotte, the first ever 5-star pistol DPS user, whose damage potential is jaw-dropping. But hold on, Jinhsi, the reigning queen of damage, isn't backing down. She's making her comeback in the second half of this update. So if you are wondering where to spend your precious resources, this video is just for you. Today we will break down their strengths, weaknesses, team flexibility and overall value. By the end of this video, you will know exactly who to summon, so grab your gear, sit back and let's get into it. Version 2.0 isn't just another patch, it's a landmark moment in this game's history. With new mechanics, expanded content, and a meta shift, players everywhere are re-evaluating their roster. The enigmatic Crystal Queen, who brings a blend of elegance, precision, and massive burst damage, as her first summonable character from Renasita, she is already turning heads with her unique playstyle and ability to handle tough single target content. And then there is Jinhsi, the Radiant Sentinel, known for her unmatched mobility and scaling AEO damage. Jinhsi has been the staple of many team players. With her reappearance in the second half of 2.0, players are debating whether to stick with the tried and tested one or embrace the new. So, what's at stake here? It's about maximizing your resources, prioritizing your pulls, and ultimately deciding who will carry your account through the most challenging content. First up, let's start with Charlotte, the second daughter of the Montalina family. By day, she is an art inventor, but in battle, she is the embodiment of icy precision. Charlotte brings a new dimension to the game as her first pistol DPS character. Let's talk about her key strength first. First of all, the ranged DPS and parry mechanics. Charlotte's Twilight Tango Shade sets her apart. Unlike traditional ranged character, she can parry enemies' attack during her enhanced basic attacks or while wielding her musket. This mechanics not only protects her, but also allows her to maintain an uninterrupted flow of damage. Then there is freezing control. With her fourth attack and the first resonance skill, Charlotte can freeze enemies, creating opportunities for uninterrupted combos. Her ability to lock enemies in place ensures that her burst rotations hits harder and consistently. Then there is multi-hit burst. Charlotte deals her damage through a series of attacks within a short window, making her burst more forgiving. Even if she misses a critical hit, the impact on her overall DPS is minimal compared to other characters. And of course, when there are strengths, there are drawbacks as well. First drawback that Charlotte has is the limited AoE potential. Charlotte shines in a single target scenario but struggles in crowd-heavy situations. For example, in Tower of Adversity, when clearing waves of enemies is crucial, her narrow attack range can be a drawback. And then there is the cooldown dependent. Her most powerful ability, like her resonance skill, have longer cooldowns. While this isn't an issue during full team rotation, it becomes noticeable in quick fights or farming scenarios. Now Charlotte fits perfectly into hyper carry teams. With Hizzy as her best sub-DPS, Hizzy amplifies glacier damage, boosts resonance skill damage, and ensures a steady flow of energy. However, if you don't have Hizzy, alternatives like Lumi or Rosia can work, though they require more precision and strategy. Now here Rosia shines as a sub-DPS character who not only deals damage, but also supports the other characters with Havoc amplification. But this can indirectly boost the glacier damage by enhancing the overall team performance. Now interestingly, Charlotte can also function in a quick swap composition, pairing well with characters like Changli. The timing of her second resonance skill aligns perfectly with Changli's ability, making for seamless transitions during the combat. Now let's talk about Jinhsi, the magistrate of Jinzhou. Jinhsi focuses on spectro damage and excels in mobility and AEO control. Now I know everyone knows about her, and let's not focus on everything that she does, but let's just cover the key strengths and key drawbacks that are necessarily important for the comparison. Let's start with the key strengths. First of all, the airborne supremacy. Jinhsi's ability to hover during the secondary state keeps her out of harm's way, allowing her to execute her rotations uninterruptedly. This mechanics gives her significant edge in massive, consistent DPS damage. And then there is the massive AEO damage. Jinhsi's final resonance skill, Luminous Epiphany, and Liberation deals devastating damage to the multiple enemies, making her a top tier choice for crowd heavy content like the Tower of Adversity. And then there is the Unison buff. Upon activating the Luminous Epiphany, Jinhsi gains the Unison buff, which guarantees her outro skill activation without relying on energy. This ensures smooth transitions and making her damage output. And then there comes the drawbacks. First of all, the crit dependent. Most of Jinhsi's damage comes from Luminous Epiphany and Liberation. Missing a critical hit during these ability results in significant DPS loss. Players without high crit rate gear might find her inconsistent. And then there is the single playstyle. Unlike Charlotte, Jinhsi is locked into her hyper carry role. While this makes her straightforward to play, it limits her flexibility in team compositions. Now Jinhsi is one of the best sub-DPS is also Hizzy, whose coordinated attacks and resonance skill boost complements her kit perfectly. However, Jinhsi has more viable alternatives than Charlotte. Characters like Yenlin, the new character Yuhu, offers excellent synergy, making her a more versatile long-term investment. Now that we have covered the individual strengths and weaknesses, let's put Charlotte and Jinhsi head-to-head. We will cover all the details in 5 major categories. First of all, the damage output, then mobility, ease of use, team flexibility, and content suitability. First, let's talk about the damage output. Charlotte excels in single target damage thanks to her freezing mechanics and multi-hit burst. Jinhsi, on the other hand, shines in AoE scenarios, where her final resonance skill can wipe over a wave of enemies effortlessly. Then, mobility. Jinhsi takes the crown here. Her airborne combat and ability to hover gives her unparalleled freedom of movement, while Charlotte mobility is more grounded. Then the ease of use. Charlotte requires careful resource management and timing to maximize her damage, making her more suitable for experienced players. And then there is Jinhsi. Jinhsi's straightforward kit is beginner friendly and fewer mechanics to jiggle. Then there comes the team flexibility. While both characters benefit greatly from Hizzy, Jinhsi's broader pool of viable sub-DPS options gives her an edge in team building, and Charlotte relies on specific characters like Hizzy, makes her less flexible. And then at the last we have content suitability. Charlotte dominates boss battles and single target encounter, while Jinhsi is the clear choice of AoE heavy content. Players focused on one type of content will find their decision easier based on the discussion. So who is the better resonator, Charlotte or Jinhsi? The answer depends on your playstyle, team composition, and the type of content you prioritize. If you need a strong single target damage dealer who can freeze enemies, manage resources efficiently, and fits in both hyper carry and quick swap teams, Charlotte is the obvious choice. Her unique mechanics and forgiving burst rotations makes her a joy to play. If you are looking for a reliable AoE specialist with unmatched mobility, team versatility, and straightforward gameplay, Jinhsi will be your go-to. Her ability to control crowd and her long-term potential with a wide range of sub-DPS options makes her a stronger contender for any account. Now, if you already have a character like Camellia to handle AoE content, Charlotte's single target focus can fill a gap in your roster. Conversely, if your team lacks a solid AoE DPS, Jinhsi is the clear winner. Remember, both characters are incredibly powerful and will elevate your account regardlessly of your choice. However, Jinhsi's potential to scale even further with future updates might make her the better long-term investment. And that wraps up the ultimate showdown. Which side are you on? Team Charlotte or Team Jinhsi? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video if you found this video helpful. Subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Until next time, keep gaming, and this is MJ signing off.